Hello and welcome to the End Step. That's Paul, that's Rich, I'm Maria, and it's time for our card of the day. Paul, what have you chosen? It's kind of format defining right now.
It is. It is my card of the day. Not a huge surprise, given how much we saw. It is Goblin Chain Whirler. This card was all over the place. It was in a third of the decks that were represented today. People adjusted their mana base just to fit this card in. And, you know, if we're currently in a world where Chain Whirler is the top dog, good luck putting 1 toughness creatures in your deck. This card is just so efficient. And, you know, we made a cycle of these triple-costed cards and threw them out there and try to get people to figure out which one is the best one. And currently, Goblin Chain Whirler is sitting on top.
So that's the card of the day. For Team of the Day, we head across the studio to Brian David Marshall, who's been keeping an eye on all things Team Series.
Thanks, Rich. For me, the team of the day is Team How Are You Latin. If you go back to the last Pro Tour, Luis Salvato won that Pro Tour in Modern. In the last round of the Swiss, he had to play against his teammate, Lucas Esper-Bertu, the former Pro Tour champion, and knocked him out of top 8 contention. But you know what? It was a top 16 finish for him, and that strong finish by that team put them into the top 4 in the Pro Tour Team Series. And you know what? They're not letting up on the gas. Lucas is off to an 8-0 start at this tournament. Multiple players are 6-2. Got another player at 5-3. Only one player doesn't make it through to day 2, and they're really keeping pace right now with Team Ultimate Guard, who's at the top of the standings, as they try to get their way into that top 2 with 1 Pro Tour to go after this one. So, Team How Are You Latin, my team of the day.
Thanks so much, BDM. Well, that's your team of the day. How about your match of the day? We certainly had a lot of exciting things happen. Let's find out what Tim and Riley think it is.
Well, Riley, it's towards the end of the day now, and it's a chance to figure out what our match of the day was. To set you up for this one, I'm going to take you back to the very start of the day. I walked across to Sam Black, and I saw him just beaming. Now, it is his birthday today, so that could have been it, but I think it was a little bit more to do with the 40-card masterpiece that he drafted.
I'll tell you what, Tim, I mean, I know you got across this deck very early on, and I certainly did as well. I wandered over to see what was going on with Sam Black, and I don't know what his approach to drafting this format is. He's generally known as a constructed player, and I know he's been trying to work on his limited game. I don't know if his idea was like, oh, he's a legendary. It's cool. I'll take this card. Oh, another one that's in completely different colours to the first one I took. This bloke put together one of the most ridiculous 5-colour decks you're going to see. Grow from the Ashes, obviously, keeping this whole broken air condition together. But he had rares and mythics across all 7 colours, all 9 colours it was, and it all came to a head when he faced off against Jerry Thompson.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't just have one player making a great match. Both of them had to show up, and show up they did in this one. Check out the entire match because every moment of it was golden, but I tell you what, the climax was something very, very special. So Jerry T, he's on Red-Blue Wizards, and quite frankly, he's in trouble.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble, Tim, and there was a moment right there at the end, with both of you and I, we're standing around the table watching this, there was a moment right at the end where there was the hinge on which the entire match turned. It was quite incredible.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if we're talking about legendaries, it was not just Sam Black's deck able to get things going. Tetsuko Umezawa plus Khan's Temporal Sundering set up one of the most incredible sequences of turns, I suppose, that you're likely to see in any game of Magic, limited or constructed. Head back down to round 2 of the draft to check out our match of the day.
Thanks very much. That's Tim and Riley with a few pointers for if you don't have 10 to 12 hours spare to see every minute of the stream from day 1 before day 2 starts again. We will actually show you the stream in its entirety at the conclusion of the broadcast, only a couple of minutes away. So if you are just getting home from work or play and you want to check out the stream in its entirety, we are about to rerun that for you. But we have a player of the day waiting for us. We've already talked with Ernest Lim, one of our 2 8-0 players, which must mean it's time for Lucas Esper-Bertu.
Thanks, Rich. I'm here with our player of the day, Lucas Esper-Bertu, the Pro Tour Ether Revolt champion and the top 16 competitor from Pro Tour Rivals of Ixalan. And you were a great teammate, Lucas. You really were. You were there cheering for Luis Salvato throughout the top 8, but I know it was a little bittersweet for you personally, right?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to lose to someone, I'd rather lose to a teammate. Luis is a great guy. He's on fire. We're teaming up for the next PT. We're teaming up for the Grand Prix. So I was happy for him, but yeah, it is a little bit bittersweet. I was undefeated day 1 back then, as I am right now, and you know, I couldn't close it. So I don't want to get too ahead of myself today, but hopefully if I keep focused and keep playing well, I can make it.
So talk to us a little bit about the process. I checked in with you guys on Tuesday. You seem to have a pretty tight ship going. You had Thiago Rodriguez managing you guys, and you got to all just focus on playing Magic for the entire week that you're here.
Right, so Team Series changed everything. Everybody got serious. I think before, we've always been close friends, but preparation, to be honest, was a little bit chaotic. Now I think we're communicating well, we're learning off one another. I think we're becoming something greater than just a group of individual players. I'm really proud of them.
Yeah, no, and the great finishes, we think back to, and it's so many clashes with teammates. We think about you and Marcio in the finals of Pro Tour Ether Revolt. You know, again, you and Luis in the last round of that last Pro Tour. One of the prices you pay for success is playing against other players who are being successful on your team. What's your plan to overnight? How do you feel your deck is positioned as you've looked at this standard environment with your black-green snake deck?
Oh, there's a lot more red-black than I'd like to face. It's not a great matchup for me, even though I faced it 4 times today. The games are always close. The games are super interactive. They're hard to play. That all decisions should be made. They're super fun too. But I need a little bit of luck. I've been having that. Hopefully, I can continue that way.
All right, got a little bit of drafting ahead of you before we get back to standard. Have a good dinner and good luck overnight.
Right, thanks, Brian.
Thanks so much, BDM. Well, all the match slips are in, so let's take a look at our leaderboard and where things stand after day 1. All right, Paul, taking a look here, we've got 2 players on 8-0, Lucas Esperbear 2 and Ernest Lim. Anything stand out to you here?
So one thing that stood out to me is, we have, of course, a lot of great decks in this tournament, but, Team Hararia Latin, I asked them, what decks did you guys choose to play? And amongst the 6 of them, they chose 3 different decks. So as I kind of alluded to earlier, they all chose decks that they were comfortable playing. Lucas Esperbear 2 on boring black-green Constrictor, still getting it done. I just want to say, just at the end of the day, this format, there are powerful decks, but there are a lot of different avenues you can take. And honestly, just putting in the time for the deck that you want is really going to pay off.
How about you, Rich? What do you see?
2 things real quick. Number 1 is 2. John Finkel and Owen Turtenwald, the same team logo, the same team. They are the number 1 team in the team series coming in, and they're both at 7-1. This puts them in massive prime position for a big day tomorrow and almost running away with one of the slots for the team series if you can do that, because 2 players in the top 8 is enormous for any team. So they're greatly positioned. The other name I'd point you to on this leaderboard is right the way down in 20th place. Pascal Menard already has a Pro Tour final this season, and he is sitting at 6-2, and he is not going to draft with Lucas Esperberto and Andrea Mengucci and John Finkel and Thomas Hendricks. He is not going to draft with Corey Baumeister and Owen Turtenwald and Thomas Enevoldsen. He is going to be in pod 3. And if I was looking at the leaderboard tonight as Pascal Menard, I would quietly think that I have a really good chance of getting to lunchtime tomorrow at 9-2 and start eyeing up. Let's get back to the final again, because I quite like being there last time.
Yeah, it's going to be a really exciting day 2 when we come back at 9 a.m. here tomorrow. Draft, standard, and then, of course, the next day, our top 8. So be sure to join us again there. For everybody here on the coverage team, see you then.